4. Here it's around 11. Okay, so 11 does mean 1100 meter. You remember that we must multiply with 100. Okay, so we have 1100 meters, so travel is supposed he said is around 1080. So you see, it's not exactly 1100, it's here. So here is 1080. So this is the second thing that we need in our TDC. If I will put, so the range, you see here, the range, it's (1080). Okay, so until now we have the bearing, we have the range, we need the speed and the angle and bow. Okay, okay, so let's go next. I go back here to for you to see better. Oh, I just found something. If I'm going here and I just click my mouse, I can move my scope. You see? It's funny. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, click next. I go here with this one. Just a second, I want to make something. I want to be sure it's 221. It's 221, huh? 220. I want to put him in 221 like was before. Okay? Okay. Okay, and okay. And I go with this one here back. Okay. Now Trevally is trying to tell us. You see here I am zooming at 6, but for example, what how you will find the range if the ship is too big to zoom at 6 and you are obligated to zoom at 1.5? So it's very simple. Let's go back and zoom 1.5. You see here I have 1.5. Let's put back the RAOFB. And here, if you are looking at RAOFB, we have 1, 2, 2.6. You see here. So we don't have like before 10.6. We have 2.6 almost. Sorry. You see? So what he is telling us here. If we have zoom 1.5, we count these marks from here and we don't match the marks here like we matched before at zoom 6. We just go and match here on the other the second red mark. You see here, second black mark. So if I have here 2.6, okay, so you see here I have 2.6 and something, 2.7, let's say almost. Okay, so here if I'm going, I have 2.5, 2.6, 2.7 almost. Okay, so I just move it. It's like I move the ring here, and it's the same thing. I go where I have 28.4. Here is 28.4, and I have the same range. Okay, so if I have zoom 1.5, okay, I count the mark here and I match the mark here. If I have zoom 6, I count the mark and I match the mark here and I read in the same place. You see? It's very simple. So now you know how to take range even if you zoom 6 or you zoom 1.5. If you zoom 6, you match the mark on the black mark here. If you zoom 1.5, you match the other mark. Okay, okay, let's go back and put our zoom back at 6. Perfect. I will put the RAOFB back. Now I go next. Step 3. So step 1, I take the bearing 221. Step 2, I found the range, which is 1080 meters. Now I need to find the angle and bow of the ship, and he told us the angle and bow of the ship is from here to here. You see, this is the angle and bow. Next, to get the angle and bow, we need to count the optical length of the ship as we did with the mast height. Click next to remove the image. So what he's telling us, you remember before we calculated the horizontal line, the vertical line. Now to find the RAOFB, we must to count these marks on the vertical. Okay, so he's telling us, you see, he's telling we have 60.9 plus 18.1. He's counted 35 marks on the horizontal. So let's count by ourselves. So we have here 15, and because I moved the scope and it's not like his scope, you see, but it's very close. So here we have 20, you see, almost 20. It's 19 and something, and here it's 15 and something. So 15 with 20, it's 35. The same result like he has. So we have here 35 marks on the length of the ship. Okay, so just put down horizontal marks is 35. You remember we had vertical marks, we have 10.6. now horizontal marks is 35. Okay, go next. Please measure optical length. You might need to adjust the scope, blah blah blah, bam bam. We did that. Next. Okay, so the optical ship length is 35 marks. This is the total length we already counted. You remember 35, 10, 20 plus 15. We have here 20 and we have here 15. Okay? Click next. Now we need to spin the range 1080 outside middle to match the real ship length on the ship size ring outside ring 123. So you see the blue to match the red. What this mean? You remember I told you this is for the mast and length, the real mast and the real length of the ship. So what was the length of the ship? If you don't remember, you go on, and here I have the length. It's 122.6. It's almost 123. So we take like 123. So what this mean? 123. Okay. So I have here, I just go and search for 123. I have here 120. Here I have 125. Here I have 130. You see here 120, 130. So 125, 123 will be here somewhere. Okay. So this is the length, real length of the ship. Okay. Now what is the range that I calculated before? You remember the range is right here. It's almost 1100. It's 1080. Okay. So now I must to put this here. Okay. So what I'm doing, I stay here where it was supposed to be 123. Okay. And I just zoom. I just use my mouse wheel until I will drag the 1100 meters in the 123 position. So the outer ring I match with the middle outside ring value. You see here. So here I have almost this. You see here I have around 1000, something like. You can be exactly, because this is not accurate 100%, but it's like there. Okay. So I have here my 1080. You see here it's 1080 and here it's 123. So I matched these two marks here. Okay. So I matched the real length of the ship with the range that I found of the ship. Okay. So what I will do the next, how I will find the AOB. Okay, so to find the AOB, we match the range that it is between the ship and us with the real length of the ship. Okay, and after that, he told us if we forgot the length to go to the sun. We already did this. Now we must read the AOB by looking in the inner ring directly under the optical length 35. You remember that we counted here. What we counted? 20 plus 15. We have like 35 marks. So this, you remember that I told you here we use all the time the marks horizontal and vertical on the middle ring, the inside part. So now we go to the inside part and we'll go where is 35. Here is 30, here is 30, you see, here it's 40, so 35 will be here, 32, 34 is here, around here, you see, in the middle. Here is 35 mark. Okay, and we read here, you remember I told you the inner ring represent the degree, angle and bow. So exactly here where I have the 35 marks, I have 51 degrees. You see here, here is 50, here is 51. Okay, so right now I have the angle and bow, so it's on the left side. You see the ship is like this, so I put angle and bow. What is the angle and bow? 51. Remember? So I have angle and bow 51 degree. Okay, I will explain you something else. As you can see, the angle and bow is 51. He just did what I told you before. So first we found the range. After that we put the range to match the real length of the ship. After that we count the horizontal marks, and where the horizontal mark is, we read the angle and bow. So we have all that we need for this ship, because the ship is not moving and we know the speed, but we can find the speed also. So I will show you. As you can see, angle and bow is 51 degrees. Okay, so click next. So, but in the case, for example, I told you how to calculate the range if the zoom is not 6, it's 1.4. Okay, how I calculate the angle and bow if the zoom is 1.4? It's very simple. He told us here, when you use 1.5 zoom, you must multiply the optical length with 4. You see, it's very simple. Let's go here. We put back the RAOFB, we click here. Okay, we have 1.5 zoom, we have 1.5. We go back the RAOFB, and we will see what I told you. So